and welcome to Something to Talk. I'm Linda McNamee, and as you saw from our introduction, we're going to talk about the Lazy Cat Lounge, because you might know a lazy cat, you might not, but you will soon find out how you can spend eternity, almost, with some lazy cats, or playful cats, or we'll find out more in a moment. But I am Linda McNamee, and I am your host for the next hour or so as we will learn about the Lazy Cat Lounge. I would like to invite you, if you have a suggestion for a future topic, you are always welcome to email me at talk@bcattv.org. I would like to thank the crew for this evening. Chris Flaherty, who's one of the staff members, makes sure that all of us volunteers are where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there, and that we know what we're supposed to be doing. Something like that. Volunteers for this evening, my volunteer crew is Christina Nikitas, Lucian Gates, Evan McNamee, and Gwyneth McNamee. So I really appreciate their giving up their Wednesday evening to come hang out at BCAT. And because both Gwyneth and Evan are here, my husband Paul has the night off from Daddy Date Night. So I hope he's enjoying time with the cats, who could be lazy and might not be. But to find out more about the Lazy Cat Lounge, I would love to introduce my guest for this evening, Brandi Jong. Did I screw it up again?
No, you said it perfect.
Who is the founder and proprietor, or soon-to-be proprietor.
Well, I am officially a business as of this week. Yeah.
Of the Lazy Cat Lounge Lowell.
In Lowell, yes.
But I looked on your website, because apparently, like, somewhere in the United States, like in South Carolina or something, there's another Lazy Cat Lounge.
Indiana.
Indiana.
Close. Yeah.
Boy, I'm off.
Yeah. But
neither place I'm ready to visit anytime soon.
Yeah. I did check with an attorney, and not trademarked or anything, so I was good to use it. I did tack on Lowell just to be safe, but when I registered as a business, I just did Lazy Cat Lounge. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we start talking about cats and lazy cats and lounging with our lazy cats, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, how you came to, I know you don't live in Burlington, but the Burlington area, was, eastern Massachusetts. And then we'll get into where did the interest in cats come from.
Okay. So I was born in Leominster, actually. And in my, I want to say, third career change in my life, where I've been for the past 25 years, I started working at an office here in Burlington, in the financial data industry that I've been at for 25 years. We just recently, after the pandemic, they closed the Burlington office and moved us to Waltham. So, but I'm very familiar with this area. I, worked in this area for about 20 years, so. I knew right where I was going.
Do you get to work from home at all?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For many years, I worked at the overnight shift. So I was working from home pretty much 5 days a week, but now I'm on an afternoon shift. So I work from home 4 out of 5 days a week.
Okay. Well, thank you to the person who's covering for
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
Most of my crew are high schoolers and middle schoolers. Mornings aren't really good for us.
No, they're not good for me either. So that's going to be a change in my life, but I'm ready.
You mentioned your third career change. So I'm guessing this might be
This will be number 4.
Fourth
Yeah.
adventure. So why a cat cafe?
So I've had a dream of working with animals. I've always loved animals. But I didn't think veterinary medicine or...
It's kind of intense.
It is really intense. I was a nurse at one point. So that's how I know, some medical... I just don't think I could do it with animals. It was hard enough with people. Animals are just so innocent. It's really hard to see them suffer and sad, and sort of like my friend who does pediatric nursing. I can't even. No, sick babies make me really sad.
Hang out with furry cats and drink coffee or tea and read a book.
So in my early 20s, I had to give 2 cats to a shelter because I was changing relationships. You know, you do in your 20s, right? And had to move from where I was at back to near home. And I could not take the cats. And
that just like kills you.
It broke my heart. And I promised myself and I promised them that if I was ever in a position when I was older to foster or to rescue, that I would do that.
Okay.
So I started when I was in college the second time for nursing, fostering cats. And I was volunteering at a shelter in Lunenburg.
Okay. Is that the Pat Brody one?
Yes. Yeah.
That's where we got not our current cats, but our previous cat. Oh my gosh, he was amazing.
Yeah. But because I was doing nursing at the time, I would be able to go in and I would be able to give meds to kittens. I would be able to do IVs and stuff like that. So
you could
I've done all that
cross
stuff. Yeah.
critters?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I grew up with dogs, totally. My dad bred dogs. I grew up with dogs. So having cats kind of was something that came about in college. And it just kind of has been that way.
Well, because in college, you want a roommate.
Right, I had a roommate.
So if you
and she had a cat.
want a roommate, you get a cat.
Right.
If you want a toddler, you get a dog.
Yeah, true. But most of the apartments just were not friendly to dogs at the time. So
I get that.
But I love all animals, so it really didn't matter to me. I just kind of fell in love with cats, and I've had cats. My first cat I got from the Salem Animal Shelter when I was in college in Boston, and I was 18. And she lived to be 20. So I say we grew up together. I was 38 when she passed away. So I wrote a nice letter to Salem Animal Shelter and said, thank you for taking a chance on an 18-year-old. We spent 20 years together. She was a wonderful kitty, and I loved her, and I sent a donation. And so it's just sort of like where my heart's been.
I get it.
When I got married, I moved to Lowell.
Okay.
And my husband, we met internet dating, and his profile picture had him with his cat, which may be weird to some people, but I was instantly like, okay, I'm sold, And we started dating. So, but he's been okay. He has his moments where the fostering can be a little. I show up at home.
How do you not want to keep every foster that you have?
So the way I explain it is when you have little tiny kittens at home, they're really sweet until they get to about 12 weeks old. Then they're climbing your curtains, they're jumping on your head. And when there's many of them, they're like a terrorist organization. Okay. And at that point, I'm okay with bringing them back to the shelter.
Okay, yeah, you take them now. I don't want them anymore.
I love my old cats. Oh my goodness. And I love my old beat up street cats with one ear. And oh my gosh, love it. So, we do a little bit of both.
I'm guessing that we're roughly the same generation. I remember growing up, our cats would go in and out all the time.
In and out, yeah.
And yeah, they'd always come back with like nicked ears when they tried having a fight with, raccoon. But now it's like, oh no,
we still have cats in our neighborhood that are out, and
there are still, but it just seems like when you adopt from a shelter, they're
they
like
don't want, unless the cat was previously an outdoor cat or is feral, then they'll, say maybe this might be a good cat for a barn, or, because they're just not real comfortable around humans. They're not going to be a lap cat, you know what I mean? But, the shelters will know.
Hindsight, I think I had one of those that should not have been around humans. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, right.
So, why the cat cafe?
Oh, okay.
We started.
I know.
Tangent.
Yeah, sorry. So, I heard about cat cafes in like 2017, and I was like, "What is this?" And they had started in Asia, and then the first.
I saw that on your website.
Yeah, and then the first one opened in either New York or, I want to say New York and LA.
Okay.
Now there are like 10 in New York alone, in New York City.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, they're kind of cropping up here and there and everywhere. It's a little different than in Asia where, you can be sitting and having some food and the cat will walk across your table. Of course, in the United States, that's not going to fly. So, I started thinking about it, and it just was like a little tickle in my brain, you know. And so I started like researching, and this was in 2017. And at the time, I was afraid of, you know, it is kind of a big deal to leave a secure job where you have your health insurance and you have everything and you're comfortable, and even if it's not, you know, it's not your heart thing, you know, I would do my
passion.
It's not my passion. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a steady paycheck, and it provides for the family
Insurance.
and insurance. Yeah, so I gave up for a little while.
Okay.
I talked myself out of it. My mother talked me out of it. She's really good at throwing the risk factors
yeah.
at you. Yeah, moms are good. So love you, Mom. So, but then, you know, and then the pandemic hit, and I was like, whew, boy, glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I don't think that would have gone over too well.
You know, things were different, and I know there were some that then they did manage to stay open. You know, people wore masks, and they have small, you know, your business models, usually it's small amount of people per hour. You have a max capacity.
Okay.
So you don't overwhelm the cats, and it's not a kind of a circus. So anyway, but then after the pandemic was over, it's still there. It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
And I, believe it or not, brought it up to my therapist, and I said, I can't get it out of my brain. And she's like, well, what if you let yourself just think about it? Just let yourself go with the plan. And by the time we had our next appointment, I was like halfway down my business plan.
Yeah, I guess I thought about it.
Yeah, so I had joined the Small Business Administration website, and I started taking classes. And
How did you know how to create a business plan? Or
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know anything, and I'm still, you
Wasn't sure if like
know, I'm still
you go to the
struggling.
library and they're like, oh, you need to do this, this, and this.
Everything is on. Thank God for the internet, right?
Oh
so
my gosh.
everything's on the internet, and there's community teamwork in Lowell has a mentorship program, and I'm working with a mentor there. Hi, Annie. And
Hi, Annie.
and she's really great, and she helped me step through my business plan and write it. And we're actually meeting tomorrow to talk about funding. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
scary.
A little bit, yeah, because numbers, even though that's sort of what I do for a living, I don't actually, you know, prepare projections. I'm just like researching things for other people, you know.
You know, it's probably hard not to, you know, assume anything, but you know, unless you're independently wealthy,
That's correct.
trying to figure out where you're going to get all of this, because it takes a while to
It does.
kind of build that momentum, even once you open.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, the first thing that my business mentor said to me was, so you're planning to keep your job, right? And I was like, no, no, I want to have cats all day, and I want to like hang out with people and have coffee and cats. And she was like, you know, you need to get started first, and then make sure you have a steady, you know, flow of income coming in before you know, step away from your secure thing. So I'm going to be juggling 2 jobs for a little while, but you know what?
But just make sure the cafe has stable internet.
It does.
And
Yes,
those
that's a plan.
days
That's the
that you
plan.
can work from home.
I will be at my office
Somebody's
at the
gotta
cafe.
Take care of the cats.
Yep.
When, you know.
Yep, that's where I'll be. So my daughter has agreed to work with me, so that's
Excellent.
amazing. Yeah.
Is she still in school? Has she graduated?
No, she did 2 years, and she decided to take a break. So she's been working at Dunkin' Donuts, so she's my coffee expert. So
There you go.
she'll be
You
my
already
little
have a barista.
barista. Yeah.
Barista.
Barrister. I know.
don't know.
I know. I think barrister is like an attorney in London or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe
and then
she could do that, too.
barista. Barista. Yeah. Anyway, so she's gonna help.
Okay. So, coffee, cats, space, what comes first? So you have this amazing business plan.
Well, you know, what comes first? That is sort of been
And then
my
what
challenge.
happens next? You had a Kickstarter. Is it still going on?
Yeah, no, the Kickstarter was only 30 days.
Okay.
My goal was to raise $5,000 and also to show, you know, lending or, you know, banks or lenders that people are interested in this and people want to do this. So
Right.
I ran a Kickstarter from March, end of March to the end of April, I guess.
Okay.
And I ended up raising $6,500. So I went over my goal, which was good, which is
Yeah.
good because they take fees out and stuff too. But that was to,
But it's over goal. So
it
that's
was
like
over goal, yeah.
showing
Yes.
investors there's a
Almost
market for
100
this.
people donated from $5 to $200, you know. And with Kickstarter, it's not like GoFundMe where you're just giving money. With Kickstarter, you have rewards, what they call reward
okay.
tiers. So I had like stickers for people who pledged $5 or magnets made with my logo.
Kind of like a PBS pledge drive.
Yeah. So I'm having T-shirts made for people that pledge for a T-shirt, and
How'd you come up with the logo? Or I'm guessing the logo's on the T-shirt or the sticker.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Actually, it's on my. So because my theme is like Harry Potter's magical Victorian library, I wanted a cat that looked sort of antique-y, you know.
Okay.
So I've got this. I don't know. I just was fooling around with it on the internet apps, different apps.
Okay.
And then my daughter helped me fix it out because she was an art major.
Perfect.
So was I too at one point, but
So is this the same art daughter who's also the coffee
Yep.
guru?
Yep. She was at Mass Art for 2 years, so
Sweet.
yeah. It's good.
You had the right kid.
She's pretty awesome.
So now that the Kickstarter's over,
Yep.
is there any other way to support financially
I mean,
or
if
otherwise?
people would like to send me money, I'm sure that'd be great. But you know,
but then you get all the tax implications.
yeah. No, I keep saying, wouldn't it be great if 50 grand just fell out of the sky somewhere?
Would be nice.
But it doesn't really work that way. So at this point, I'm using that initial start money that I just got from Kickstarter and money that I'm saving. We're all putting change in a jar, literally, and saving that for my business account.
So I'm just wondering, get the couch named after you, when you can get a little plaque on the couch if you.
I mean, it's still a possibility.
Okay.
I still have, right now though, again, 2 jobs, right? So still
in
working
your
full time.
copious spare time.
Yeah, still working full time, and I just stepped down from Girl Scouts.
Okay.
Which we just talked to. Sorry. I know, at least for a year, until I'm working one job again. That's my.
But you could have meetings in your cafe.
That we already discussed that. Trust me, already discussed that.
Don't want to know the answer because I don't want to be disappointed if the answer was no.
Events at the cafe, like doing things,
so cool.
making cat toys or animal interaction. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Girl Scouts aside, they can do their own little craft thing.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about what the normal experience at the cat cafe is. But are you already entertaining the idea of private parties or
Yep.
live music? Not too
No
loud?
live music.
Okay.
No, no. And that was one of the things with I told when I finally broke down and got a real estate agent because I was having trouble finding anything or even get people to call me back to look at spaces. Yeah, it's not been easy. So one of the things I said to him is, do not put me next to a bar. I don't, if it's a loud, rowdy bar or, dance club, or I don't want to be next door to that because that's going to be too much for a cat.
Not next to the fire station either.
Correct. Yeah, if possible. Yeah. I didn't.
Not constant,
I
but-
didn't even think of that. That's a really good thing. When I was just looking at a space this week, there was a truck that caught on fire right out in front of the space in downtown Lowell.
Okay, well, that's going to happen anytime. But it's like, okay, if
There were
you were
no cats there yet, though. So
right next to the fire station,
You're right.
every time they got a call.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So I lost track of what were we talking
So
about.
did I.
So, yeah,
special
looking for
events,
space. Oh, yeah.
Birthday parties.
Actually, one of the
or book
things-
readings or poetry readings.
One of the
or
things I already had on my
picnics.
Kickstarter was if you pledge $100, you get a private party. So, but nobody took me up on that. So that's it's all good. It'll be out there. I just haven't established exactly how it will work yet. My website is
once
set
you
up, and
get settled in, you're like,
I do have a mentor though. Hi, Caitlin. So Caitlin owns the Tipsy Tabby that is open already up in Newmarket, New Hampshire, and she's my cat lady, cat cafe mentor. And they have her specialty is handmade hot chocolate drinks, like with real chocolate, melted chocolate, and milk, and alcohol. So you have a Tipsy Tabby, so you can go in and she makes her own bubble tea too.
Just don't let the cats sample.
Right? No, and I don't think they would anyway. But
And does she also have to get like a liquor license?
she
because of
did,
that?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
But in New Hampshire, it's a little easier. You know, and I don't.
Not
know.
right now. Not right now.
No, I don't. I don't want to go down that
Longer term,
road.
maybe, but not right
maybe I don't know. I don't even. You know, I'm not a big drinker anyway, so it's like, meh.
Okay, so special events aside.
Yeah.
What is the experience of going to a cat cafe?
So, that I've seen where this comes in.
We'll talk about
I'm
the
hoping
cats
it's going to be for, you know, not just people who like cats, but say college students who we have a lot of in Lowell. We have like 15,000 a year coming through Lowell who can't have a pet in the dorm, but maybe they're really missing being with a pet. So they can pay the cover fee, the student rate, and come in and study free Wi-Fi, have a a soda, a cup of coffee, and sit and do some homework, sitting next to a cat, and petting a cat, or just playing with a cat, spending time with a cat. It's supposed to be about relaxing and spending time with the animals.
So no catnip for the cat toys.
Oh, absolutely. Catnip. We love catnip. Yeah, like whatever the cats
Well,
want.
some cats like totally wig out and like start running around bouncing off the walls, and other cats are just
But if you come in, you got to
cool.
expect that. Yeah, no, you got to expect that. You never know what you're going to get. It's a cat. Yeah. So
How many cats at a time? I'm bouncing all over the place.
No, that's all right. I know. I tend to do that too when I talk about it. So my goal is 6 to 8, I think.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
Kind of live there as well. You're not going to have to
Right.
take them home with you every night.
Right. Yeah. I actually was talking to some breeders about possibly getting some retired fancy cats just to live there. Obviously, if they came home with me or whatever, if something happened, they would come home with me. But just so that I'm sure I always have cats, because what I've seen is, I already have 3 rescue partners who've agreed to lend me their adoptable cats.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I'll be basically like a big open air foster home.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So we have the cats, and the plan initially was for all of them to be adoptable. But there are seasons when, kitten seasons, there's a ton of cats. Summer, there's always cats all over the place. But as it gets in the winter, maybe there's fewer cats, there's fewer fosters. So I have, as I said, I have Paparotti Shelter.
Okay.
I'm still in contact with them. I have Broken Tail Rescue out of Worcester. They're a home-based
Oh, wow.
foster, because that's where I went to nursing school.
Oh, okay. I'm like, Worcester's kind of far. There are a lot of,
I know. So they're on my radar. So been friends with them for many, many years. And then the Lowell Humane Society, where I've been volunteering for 20 years.
They're also relatively local.
Right. The concern, though, was, it has to be a cat that's going to be okay with being with other cats. It has to be, vetted at the time that it comes in.
Right.
And also not going to be a cat that's going to be adopted tomorrow, maybe.
Right,
because they don't, if it's a highly adoptable cat and they've got a wait list of people waiting, so it depends,
Like a Bengal.
Well, yeah, you don't see many Bengals in the shelter, but they're seeing more purebred dogs at the shelter for sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is crazy, but you never know. Cats could follow. So,
You
just
never know.
whoever has.
So, would you focus on like kittens or?
It's going to be a mix.
Mix.
It's going to be a mix.
Because I know a lot of times, like some shelters, not necessarily sure of the ones that you're partnering with, but they have like the senior cat adoption specials at certain times a year, where it's like 10-year cats or older.
Yep. So we'll be, whatever the adoption process will be based on whatever rescue the cat is from or shelter the cat is from.
Okay.
So all of that stuff still has to go through
The shelter.
But if you came in and you met, Fluffy, right? And Fluffy, and you fall in love, and you want to apply to adopt Fluffy, then I would have applications or.
Okay, so I couldn't take Fluffy home with me.
No,
that day.
no. It'd still have to go through the shelter, but.
What would the timeline be? Generally, do you have any?
I've seen cat adoptions be turned around in 24 hours, or people coming in and filling out the application as long as they can approve your application. Usually they look for vet references. They look, if you rent an apartment, they make sure your landlord allows pets, that sort of stuff. And they just want to check to make sure,
We don't go through it very often because our last cats were 17 and 19. And then our new cats, we got 5 years ago.
You find in the yard?
No, that was the third one. No, we had 2 cats. One was 17 that we got at Pat Brody.
Pat Brody, yep.
And we had a 19-year-old cat as well, and we lost both of them within 3 weeks of each other. Ugh. And it was like April, May, gonna be traveling this summer, give ourselves a break. And a former colleague of mine fosters for
that's the joy of fostering.
Yeah, she fosters for Nevin's farm.
Okay. Yep.
So I messaged her, the powers of social media. I'm like, hey, got any cats? Because at the time, my kids were a little younger, and one kid wanted an orange tabby, and the other one wanted a black cat. Okay,
good choices.
Fair enough. She's like, well, I don't have any of those right now. Like, oh, but have you seen the ones I have? She had 4 calicos. So
they're
I showed,
orange and black.
Exactly.
Bonus.
So I showed them to the kids, and they're, any kitten is cute. If you're a cat person, any kitten is adorable.
Right. Yep.
And they're like, oh my gosh, we love them. We want to take them home. I'm like, okay, think about this. You wanted a certain type of cat. If you don't get that, it's probably going to be another 20 years before you have another choice.
Cats are a long-term.
If you want to go meet them, we will. But if you're not 100% sure you're okay, we're not going, because as soon as you meet them, you're going to want to take them home. And they're like, we'll be okay with them. So yes, we came home with 2 of the 4 from the litter, and we told the foster.
Ideal. Yeah.
We told the foster we could not take 4.
Right. Well. Okay. Yeah.
Couldn't take all 4.
I mean, you could, but I hear you. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's another story for somebody that adopted 4 cats. But we told her, she says, if somebody else only wants 1 of those 2, we don't want the other one to be by itself. So we'll take the 3rd. So they ended up getting taken together. And here it is several years later, and there was a stray cat wandering through our yard that my family decided to feed.
Yeah.
And once you feed them, they're yours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's the one that we just found randomly walking through the yard. But I think he had been in the neighborhood for like 6 to 8 months.
They smell. So this is what I've come to figure out. People used to laugh and say, they know where you live, because I'm always feeding somebody.
They can sense cat people.
I think they smell when you're walking back and forth to the car or whatever. I think they smell it on your clothes, so they know there are cats. So they go, this is a friendly place to be. That's what I've decided, because they always find us. They always find us. It doesn't help that we have a heated feeder on our back porch. 365 days a year.
We tried getting an automatic feeder because, like we were talking about earlier, cats, most normal cats, you put a bowl of kibble out, they'll nibble, walk away, come back, nibble some more. No, our cats, one in particular, just has to food. I'm going to eat the entire thing.
And then get sick?
And then get sick.
That's my mom's
So we're like,
cat.
we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So we said, well, we'll get a feeder that'll spit out measured portions of food throughout the day. She doesn't like that. So she now body slams it and flips it over
Aren't they
and
fun, though?
tackles it. Well, the 2 cats have tackled it so much that it now, like, the motherboard has cracked or something. You plug it in and it just starts spilling food.
See,
So we can't plug it in
They're
anymore.
going to wear you down. You'll just give them the food. And, you know.
Oh, no, they've done that to my husband. So, okay,
mission accomplished, yeah.
back to your cats, because this is all about you, not about my crazy cats.
Yeah.
So you have a space.
Well, not yet. I'm working
Well,
on it. Yeah.
In theory, you're going to have a space.
Yes.
And cats are going to be there.
Right.
Roughly 6 to 8 at any one time.
Mostly adoptable. That's my plan.
Mostly
I'm
adoptable.
hoping also to have a very small room that people will be able to look in, and I'm also going to have a live webcam called for Kitten Cam. I'm hoping to have pregnant mama cats. So in a special room, and I have this this idea that I'm going to decorate it like a baby nursery, to be really cute. So we'll see. It's space dependent on. But so that you'll be able to look in, but when they're too little, people are not going to be able to go in there and fool around.
Well,
with
I
them.
was also wondering, like, I've had some cats that it's too people-y. I'm going to go hide under the bed.
Yep.
So
Yep. That's a consideration.
will there be a space for the cats to say,
Yes.
okay, I'm done?
Yes. So one of the things that I've learned through my research is important to have those spaces. So when I was saying my Victorian library theme, having the bookshelf type things that they can climb through, and what they call catification of the room. So there are steps, tiers, so they can get up and be high if they want to.
So they don't have to jump, 12 feet in the air,
Right,
which
right.
some of them can do.
Right. So if they don't want to be, if they've had enough of being touched, whatever, for the day, they can go and sit somewhere else. Additionally, planning to wall off, 5-foot by 10-foot area, have little holes at the bottom to have litter boxes, and maybe some beds in there as well, just in case they really want to be out of the.
Pat Brody has like a space like that, don't they? It's got like a house with, okay.
Yeah. So that's part of it. And my contractor friend Vince, hi Vince. I'm saying hi to everybody.
Gotta love these shout-outs.
So yeah, he came over and I was like giving him all my ideas. Like, okay, we've got to have this space and we've got to have that space and the kitten nursery and this, and he's got my vision. I think he's on it. So
excellent.
So we're good. Yeah.
And he'll make the little kitty ramps and the kitty holes so they can, because I've seen, again, videos on YouTube or whatever, and it's like, the stairs and the.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes, but.
Doesn't have to be all done at once.
No, right. Well, again, it's going to be, got to find the space first.
Okay.
I have a drawing that I've had in my notebook for years of how I want things. Since 2017. Yeah. So how I want the place to look, and also learning that I'm going to have to talk to people about not picking up the cats, because if the cats are overwhelmed, overstimulated, they might scratch, they might bite. Petting them where they are, and if they come to you, great. But no picking up. Okay. And my friend Caitlin from Tipsy Tabby was telling me she had to take the wands, those with the string, because little kids were hitting the cats because they weren't playing with them. They were poking them. So she said, I just gave up and took all the wands out. Yeah. So, when you said catnip, we'll probably have some, mice around or some jingly balls, but nothing that can, hit a cat, because I might not be very patient with that. No.
What type of vetting would you work with the shelters? Because some cats are totally antisocial, and then some cats have to be on your lap.
Right,
like the one that we got at Pat Brody, his name was Seamus.
Yeah.
He exhibited every single trait of being a middle child. You're not paying attention to me. Pay attention to me. Hi, I'm over here. And I'd be sitting on the floor playing with the kid, playing with my children. Yeah. He'd jump up from behind me and
on your back. Yeah. So, I have one of those right now. So yeah, totally understand. I actually have 2 of those, and they get mad at each other and fight for space.
So what kind of vetting?
So I mean, the shelters are going to know. It's got to be a cat that is okay with other cats first and foremost. And the socialization, can be a part of fostering, right? So some cats are shy around people. In that case, that cat might be ideal to be in this environment because they'll not only get exposed to other cats, but they'll get exposed to lots of people and, start learning that people are okay and that people give them treats and people, give them pets. And, that's part of fostering is I'm kind of hoping that socialization can be a piece of what I do, and as well as keeping cats out of cages, because as much as I love, Lowell Humane Society and Nevins, they have to keep their cats in cages, and sometimes some animals do fine, and some do not, and that's where foster homes come in, right? So I actually got a call from Pat Brody this week. She had Priscilla, who runs Pat Brody Shelter, had 5 mother cats with kittens.
Wow.
Can you take one? Can you take, you can have up to 2 kittens or 6 kittens or 5 kittens. I'm like, oh, I just can't right this minute. There's just so much going on. Soon. But, I'm hoping that there'll be a bunch of mama cats and kittens. That's of course because people love kittens. And if they're, too young to be spayed, neutered, adopted away from mom, then that's sort of a sweet spot for me, because then they'll play, they're playful, they like
little nursery area.
Yeah, well, so those are for the ones that are like
really little,
like really little. But once they start, walking around and get a little bit bigger, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Then they can be probably in the main area.
Okay. Well, thinking of main area, and also remembering what it's like to have kittens. If you are serving beverages, coffee, tea, cocoa, whatever, and you have cats, Board of Health must be having a field day with this.
I have been in contact with the Director of Economic Development through City Hall, and she's been asking questions of the health inspector on my behalf. At some point when I actually have a physical space and I'm, getting ready to really implement my plans and move forward, I'm going to have a sit-down meeting with him. The initial thought was, as long as the food and beverage space is completely separate from the cat lounge relaxation space, but you could take drinks like cans of soda, bottled water, coffees with a lid into the cat lounge space.
Okay.
But yeah, so
like salads would probably be out of the question.
No. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility, depending on what he says, that I might have, say chips and protein bars or snacks things, and maybe even there's a bakery downtown that maybe get some muffins or cat-shaped cookies or something, that just to have a little snack. And if nothing else, maybe you can get that snack while you're waiting for your time to go in. Like say you arrive 15 minutes early and you have your little snack, and then you can go in.
Because I'm like, cats like to share. What's mine is mine, what yours
Some
is
do,
mine, and what I want is mine.
Right, yeah, some do.
What do you got over there? Okay, so tell me about, you mentioned, before your time.
How does it work?
How do you sign up? How long is your time frame?
Right.
Is it a one flat fee for as long as you want, or is it like a certain like parking meters?
Right. So the way that I'm kind of modeling based on what everybody else does, right? And basically, my website will have a calendar.
Okay.
And sort of like you do if you scheduled to go to the hairdresser or something, you go in, you pick an empty day, you pick a time slot, and you sign up. You sign your waivers saying if a cat scratches you, you will not sue me. You have to understand a cat might scratch, and that is the way it is.
And if it's a very friendly cat, it might drool on you too.
Yes, exactly. Cats do cat things.
You will walk away with cat fur on.
Yeah, cats do cat things. So you gotta, just kind of expect that. So I have a tiered pricing, $14 for an hour as an adult, then $12 for students, veterans, senior citizens, and then $10 for kids 12 and under.
Okay.
So, I have heard from other people that they don't allow kids under 3. I haven't put that in place yet,
Right.
but if toddlers can be tricky,
Yes.
and toddlers, while I think it's important to teach them how to interact with animals safely, I don't know that I want to put a cat that's not in its own place in that
Right.
position with strange toddlers,
And you're also not sure
Yeah.
what the toddler's parents.
And there's that. Some
mindset
parents just
is.
are like, oh, my child is so cute, and whatever they do is sweet until
isn't it fun? He's petting the cat's fur backwards.
or
Pulling the whiskers.
poking them. Yeah, pulling the tail or pulling the fur. But again, I'm not ready to rule it out completely.
But it's on your radar.
It's on my radar.
On your
So
radar.
there may end up being a under 3, not for me, restriction. It's a possibility.
Sounds good.
And I would think that most people would understand that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And one of the things that when I was telling you, I was trying to explain my business plan to my mom and get her to understand that this is actually a thing and why it is a thing. There's 2 other cat cafes in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Peabody, the one in Peabody, has been operational for quite a while.
Oh,
and there's a brand new one opening in Brookline outside of Boston.
Oh, wow.
Which it's a micro bookstore, and I'll give a plug for them. They're called the Sanctuary Place.
Oh.
And all of their cats are not adoptable. They're all rescued, and they're a sanctuary for cats.
Okay.
So it's the same.
So it's a bookstore that just has a bunch of cats lying
Cafe,
around.
coffees, and the cats are around in the cat space. Yeah. So I think they just opened, but the point was the Peabody one.
Okay.
When I went and looked at how their booking system worked, there was a disclaimer that said, "Please be patient. We're booking 6 to 8 weeks in advance."
Wow.
Yeah. So, and when I went up to Newmarket, New Hampshire, to meet with Caitlin for the first time and sit down and talk about my dream of wanting to do the same thing she's doing, there were 2 kids there who had just come up from UMass Lowell on break. So they were from Lowell and Drake up an hour away just to visit cats. So cat people are nuts, and we own it. We love it, We own it.
They are, no pun intended, but they are a strange breed.
I have saying, when you find out that your one cousin likes koala bears, and then everybody buys her koala bears. So it was for a while. It was like that. Like everybody would buy me cat towels and cat. I'd be like, oh my gosh, really? Okay. Oh, this is great.
Thanks.
I love it.
Another
Thank you.
cat.
I've embraced it. You know what? This is who I am. Go with it. I'm the cat lady. It's
There you
all
go.
good, as you see.
Crazy cat lady.
That's it. Yep. It's good. It's all good.
Well, I heard crazy cat ladies have to have 40 cats.
Oh.
And you're only going to think about 8. So I think.
Well, if we talk volume during the year, if they get adopted and more,
Okay.
I mean, it could.
Fair enough.
It could be. It could be 40. You
Okay,
never know.
so back to, I know we're bouncing all over the
That's
place.
all right.
Back to the cats.
Yeah.
Going to have a separate space for the cats, separate space for human consumed food. Is there anyone that's going to be staying there to take care of the cats
Like overnight?
overnight? Or
No. So I mean,
what happens to the cats when your business is not open?
well, I'll still be going in every
Okay.
day. Whether so, my plan is to not open Monday and Tuesday for the first at least 3 months,
Okay.
because I'm still working, and I'm going to have to go into my office a couple days per month, right? So my plan is to go in, feed whoever's there in the morning, take care of business, and go do my work stuff. Go back in the evening, feed them again, and visit with them. And cats are pretty independent, which
They're
is
pretty low
nice.
maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, some get sick, get kind of needy, and I have also had quite a few Girl Scout volunteers who've offered to come in and just, play
We'll
with
take care of
cats,
the
or
cats.
cuddle with cats or hang out with cats. And even non-Girl Scout volunteers, people are like, oh, did you want me to come in and just sit there and watch things? Sure, yeah.
Sure, I'll come and I'll take care of your cats
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. So
What about like medical care? Would that be handled by the shelters? Because
most
it's like-
likely. I mean, unless it's oral medication, or I can give shots. I can give IVs
Okay.
because I've done it. I've done fluids and all that kind of stuff. So, we've had, my husband and I have had cats for
Okay.
22 years.
Because I'm also thinking, hopefully the cats will be healthy when
Yeah.
they're there, because
Yeah.
most of the time.
Basically, but so an elderly cat might
Right.
have, a lot of them have hyperthyroidism, so they
Right.
take a pill. There are diabetic cats, just like diabetic humans, and it's
Yeah.
not like they're on the verge of death. They just need some medication.
Okay.
So that there's different types of issues that
Okay.
they're not. Yeah, they're not 100%.
So you're going to
Clean
have
bill
like
of
the
health.
whole spectrum
Yeah.
of adoptable cats.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly. That's
except
the
for the
plan.
FIP ones, because or feline. No, what's
Well, FIP, I just read, I don't know if you guys follow Kitten Lady. No, because who follows Kitten Lady but me? But
Somebody does.
she just published an article. They have found a cure for FIP. Too late for some of my fosters, which really
Yeah.
broke my heart, because we did
one of our
lose.
cats too?
Yep. But they found a cure.
FIP, FIV.
So FIV is, I actually, one of my cats, one of the 5, my smallest one, who was meant to be my mascot, the one that I bottle fed recently.
Okay.
He's 7 months old right now. He is FIV positive.
But
so
can he be with other
Yes.
cats?
Yes. It's like human HIV, but it's
Okay.
feline immunovirus,
Okay.
So he will be prone to viruses all his life. His immune system is compromised. And it's only spread, though, by bites or sexual contact. So considering my other youngest cat is 11, and my older ones are 11 to 17, and they are not interested in rolling around and biting with him.
Okay.
Although he probably would like
He would
to.
like to try.
He would like to
and they're just
try,
like,
but
"Go away, kid."
they give him a smack, and that's the end of that. So it's not even two of the rescues were like, well, that doesn't. I don't see that as being a game stopper for you, like fostering in your house.
Okay.
Which I thought for sure that was going to be.
Okay. Yeah, because I
just a
thought like
risk.
certain cats with certain conditions have to be like only children.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that was the thinking before,
Okay.
but we had
Medical.
we had an FIV cat
Care has
prior to Jack, my little cute Jack, and he was coming to my feeder on my back porch, and until he got really, really sick, and then we took him in, and he had FIV, and back in that time period, they wanted to euthanize him, and I said, I don't, no, we're gonna, give it a try. He had no teeth, so who's he gonna bite? And he's neutered, so I mean, what's gonna happen, really?
Yeah.
So he came home with us, and he lived a good long time. Was one of the sweetest, most wonderful. Rest in peace, Mr. Ghost. He was just the nicest cat. So never rule out an FIV cat, positive cat, in my opinion. So.
I'm just like looking at
Looking
my
up the
questions, and okay. So we started talking about booking a session online. In an ideal world, from a business perspective, you want it to be booked for
Right.
6 weeks. But how long would you get to stay there? Just
So-
an hour and then you have to leave, or
You could book multiple hours if there was multiple hours
Okay.
open. One of the things, I think that was one of my other Kickstarter specials, was 2 hours, 2 hour together pass, and you get a special code to have 2 hours together. So I may offer that if it comes to that. I mean, I didn't know how long people might want to stay. I am looking at like a loyalty program, like you come so many times, you punch card or
punch card.
visits or whatever, and get a free visit, or booking so many hours together, you get a discount, something like that. But you know, and students, I was going to do gift cards like Christmas time. So if you wanted to buy your student, you know, for 10 visits or whatever, it'd be a certain price, less than what they would pay for an hour at a time.
Cool.
Yeah, so hopefully, and I, you know, I'm sure people are going to walk in and off the street and say, what's this? Can I go in? And they'll still have to, it'll be space dependent on, you know, like what's going on that day, if there's room. Because again, my priority is the cats.
How do you determine the ratio of how many people to cats?
So just space-wise, I'm as long as I have the space that I'm thinking I'm going to have, I would say 10 people an hour is probably my max.
Okay.
Just to make sure we're not on top of each other. Everybody has a place to sit down. Everybody has a cat to pet. You know what I mean? You don't want to sit there. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to sit there
and
and
share a
have
cat.
no. Yeah, I mean you might have to, but we'll do our best to, you know.
Well, so I don't have to share a cat. Can I just bring my own cat there?
No. As we just discussed, some cats do not play well with others, and generally there's an introductory period. So when I bring new cats in, there's going to have to be, they're probably going to have to be in a contained plaything or a cage or something, just so everybody can smell each other.
Have to be integrated.
From a safe distance. Exactly. And you don't, you know, you wouldn't come in with, it's not like dogs, they meet at the play place and they run around and everybody's happy. Cats will be territorial.
Yeah, but if I bring mine, I might be able to take another one home and you won't notice.
I might. Believe me. I was researching. I was like, I wonder if there's some way to put those tags on, like they have at the store for you when you're going to steal clothes, on the cats, like on a collar.
That might hurt the cat.
Well, not, you know, I was saying like on a collar, like a type of a collar that would buzz if somebody tried to go out the door with a kitten, because that would be not good. That would be bad. So.
Well, maybe not on the collar. It's could have like a collar.
Yeah, well, that might be, you know, depends. Let's see. I'm
Talk
hoping.
to the shelters, because now they do the little microchips.
Yeah, no, yeah,
So,
they all
you know,
have
maybe
microchips, but I
there's
don't.
something, I don't know.
I don't know either. But it was just
Technology.
It was just something that occurred to me. I only remember once in the history of the 20 years I've been volunteering for Lowell Humane that somebody walked out with a kitten in their sweatshirt. Yeah, but they had, you know, video and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it happens. It doesn't happen frequently, but you know, if you don't have the adoption fee, you know, people get desperate, and you know, people do crazy things. So, you know, but I'm planning to be. I will have a security system, of course, and hoping to have somebody in the cat lounge. If it's not me in the lounge space, somebody else will be in there, sort of just making sure everybody's being safe and respecting cats' boundaries and
not poking the cats.
Not poking the cats with anything, and yeah, putting themselves at risk. So
what kind of staffing? You know, we talked about, you know, having at least one person monitor the cats. And your daughter's going to be making coffee and other drinks.
Yeah, probably not all.
And you're going to be in the back office. So what is your staffing needs going to be like?
So I'm
in an ideal world, let's not think of finances right now.
No, I know. I'm hoping, you know, at least 3 employees to start, and whether or not we switch up, you know.
So like 3 people
hours.
at any one time? Or?
No. Like probably 2.
Okay.
At a time, 1 in the lounge, 1 in the retail area, with me, you know, being around and about.
Ooh, you said retail area. Does that mean we can like buy stickers and T-shirts and mugs and
Yes. So I also I've happened to meet up with a few really cool artists too who do handmade cat items. So I met a girl out of Salem who does these like little mini witch hats for your cat, or you know, little jewelry and things with.
Okay, would cats really wear little hats?
No, I mean, if you want to risk your life, some do on the internet. Not my cats, but because my cats are very spoiled.
Just date the cat first.
Right.
You know, dogs, yeah, but cats.
Right. Yeah, it's not quite. But you know, just the jewelry. I met another girl who does stickers. Like she does her own cat artwork. It's beautiful, and I have a couple on my laptop. Please don't stick the
stickers on the cats.
No stickers on the cats. No. Obviously, stuff with the logo,
Okay.
T-shirts. I actually just bought a T-shirt from Etsy, which I think I might try to modify and make my own. It said, "I'm here to pet all the cats." So I'm thinking if I have one of those
like
T-shirts
that.
with my logo on it, that would be a good seller. So, yeah, and then cat ears, stuffed cats, things for kids,
Okay.
cat themed things,
Cat stuff.
cat stuff
Cat stuff.
for cat lovers.
Kitty treats.
You know,
Kitty ice cream.
that cousin who likes cats
Yeah.
and everybody wants to buy her a cat thing? You'll come to me. I'll have all the stuff.
That.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to being out of time,
Really?
and I don't want to
by
run
fast.
out
Okay.
because I have a little something for you.
A cat? No.
Kind of. I did not realize the theme of your decor,
Oh, okay.
but my daughter has her own photography business.
Oh, fantastic.
So she printed some lazy cats for you.
Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness.
So, yep, that lazy cat and the lazy cat with the open mouth.
Oh my gosh, no, these are perfect. I can get some old frames and put them in the. These are fantastic.
And yeah,
I love it.
our two
Those are
little kids got in there as well.
I love it. Look at that. Fantastic. I love them.
Little
Thank
lazy
you so
cats.
much. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Upside down kitty.
I love it. That looks like
Although there was one
of
where
my
the cat
boys.
was like upside down, sticking her little tongue out, and I'm like, I really like that, but I like these other ones too.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
hopefully,
gosh,
even if
those
they're
are
in your bathroom
fantastic.
or in the kitchen or wherever the theme is,
I can probably put this in my retail area, or when you walk in, yeah. Oh, you'll have to come see. You guys will have to come visit me and see what I do with them.
I love it.
That's amazing.
So, what is your timeline for opening?
Well, so
Hopefully by the end of this year?
I'm hoping for the fall.
Okay.
I'm hoping for September. Like September 4th is my goal. However, I'm seeing, what the other people have gone through as watching the sanctuary place and the stuff they've had to go through.
Okay.
Their original space was not handicap accessible.
Oh, okay.
So that was one of the things I'm really looking for. First floor.
Does your current
Yes. The one I'm looking
dream
for. Yes.
have-
Yes. It's one of the considerations. Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely. That was another person that I saw when I visited the Tipsy Tabby. There was a woman who had gotten her mom from the nursing home for the afternoon, and they came in, and she, had a cat sitting on her lap, and she's petting the cat. So, I mean, that's a great thing to look forward to. People who maybe just can't have their own cat for whatever reason, even though some of them are going to be there for adoption. They'll also be there for cat therapy. You know what I mean? To come in for people who either can't maintain having their own pet anymore, or whatever.
And maintaining cats are expensive, or if you're
Absolutely.
allergic, you can take a
you get
Claritin
married
for a
and-
couple of hours.
You get married and your husband's allergic.
Would marry him.
Well, okay. I know my poor dad is so allergic, so he can't visit me. Yeah, I know that's hard, but
Well, I think we're out of time. The timer didn't really work tonight, that I
Okay.
could tell.
okay.
But are they waving to you over there?
I see.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Teenagers.
I see kids waving.
So, thank you so much.
Thank
You will
you.
have to keep me posted on
I will.
paint night so we can paint all your walls.
Yep, that would be great.
Help you socialize the cats before your opening day.
That would be great. Yeah.
And then just let us know when you do open.
So just to throw a little plug out there, I think you said my website is up there.
It should be periodically, so
Okay.
it's Lazy Cat Lounge Lowell.
So there's I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like a contact or join my email list or
Oh,
something,
okay.
where I'm going to put stuff out periodically. I've sent 2 newsletters so far. So
Ooh, newsletters.
Yeah,
Gotta love newsletters.
yeah, I promise not to spam you, just to let you know when things are going on and interesting things happening. And when you said paint night, that was something that I
No, I was thinking
planning.
like physically painting your walls.
Yes, but I'm also thinking about having paint nights.
Cool.
Yeah, cat yoga, paint nights, book reading. The list goes on and on. So
Right.
we'll have a good time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your substitute who's covering for you at work so you
Thank
can
you,
be
Kaya.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing your vision.
Very excited.
It's a very brave thing to do, and I'm really impressed.
It is, and I hope, honestly, I hope it inspires some other women, some other young people who maybe not doing what they love to just go for it. Just gotta try, you know? Life's too short.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I also want to thank everyone home for tuning in this evening. I hope you are ready to check out the Lazy Cat Lounge in a few months and maybe follow your dream, whether it's a dream of feline superiority or whether it's something else. So thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you around town. Good night.